And friends, I had an interesting meditation today. Alright, so I found myself having a very bizarre kind of meditation. It's like a reader who doesn't want to read a book that he just doesn't like. As if you are a passionate reader, it's not every book that you consider when you go to a bookshop. Alright, there are catchy headlines, there are stories you're interested in. Like myself, if I want to read a book, I will have to look at the back of the book for the summary. That usually the authors put a summary of the book at the back, and that'll be about the writer as well, and what have you. You can also find it in the first 5 pages of the book, forward and all that. So I usually go for that. So this particular book in the Bible is not about. It's not a book I love to consider. And it's not because I hate the Bible, no. Or because the story in it, right, doesn't resonate with me. It doesn't really, go down well with me. And that's the story of Esther, right? So each time I meditate on Esther, I do have what you call mood swing. I see myself getting, angry at a point and suddenly enlightened, where you have people, stories that make you laugh, lines that will make you laugh or smile, and then you return again to what makes you angry again. For example, in Esther chapter 1, from verse 10, on the 7th day of the feast, when King Xerxes was in high spirits because of the wine, he told the 7 eunuchs who attended him to bring his queen Vashti to him with the royal crown on her head. He wanted the nobles and all the other men to gaze on her beauty, for she was a very beautiful woman. Right? So this is a man who got drunk. Wine has a way of making you happy. That's like Solomon would tell you a little of it. But these guys were in high spirit because of the wine they took. And then you have a woman who knows her worth, right? She knows her worth. And then you send your eunuchs. You didn't even call yourself. You send your eunuchs to go and bring the queen out. The eunuchs, castrated men, to go and bring her out so that she can entertain, her husband and the nobles and the big men of the land. So let's say you are married to Dangote, and Dangote tells you to come out, that his friends wants to see you. All right, and his friends wants to have a look at your beauty. Now, a woman who is not driven by money, fame, or comfort would question that decision. Why would you present me like that as a cheap artifact? You don't have respect for me and all that. I don't know if I'm making sense. So she resisted that, and because of that, she lost her throne as the queen. And guess who replaced her? Esther. And now it wasn't that easy for Esther. Esther had to be brought in like the rest of the virgins that came in. And each of them had a night with the king. Yes, each of them had a night with the king, which is say the king somehow saw their nakedness even before choosing them. Very funny things. So you think, God, do you walk this way? I mean, is it cool? Are you saying that this is cool? That the woman who knew what she's worth is dealt with, so that another one can come in? So I was asking this question. I was angry. I was asking this question, and I was angry. And the voice said to me, "Well, God will have to use even a situation that doesn't make sense sometimes, if it takes that to save His own people." And you cannot question God, right? You cannot. So God can actually use a prostitute to save a nation. He has done that before. Do you remember the Jericho scenario and all that? How He used a prostitute to help Israel conquer an enemy nation. Oh yes. So in this case, Esther herself had to go into the king's room chamber and was with him that night. and the king was pleased with her, then choose her. but this is not my focus now. All right, it's not what this is all about. So I continued my meditation, and then I found myself again in Job, and Job chapter 1 this time, when the Bible says that the sons of God came and appeared before God to once in a while. It's like something they do once in a while, to come and be with God and maybe draw strength from His presence, which we ought to. Every one of us ought to. Something that we ought to be doing. Draw strength from His presence. Alright, so devil, Satan, also came. He was also there. Satan was also there. So he came there. Alright. To be with them, and when God saw him, God was like, you, where are you coming from? Where have you come from? This is verse 7 of Job chapter 1. The Lord asked Satan, and Satan answered, the Lord, I have been paroling the earth, watching everything that's going on. So I'm here and there, here and there. I am supervising my territories, watching what is going on. Then the Lord asked Satan, have you noticed my servant Job? He is the finest man in all the earth. He's blameless, a man of complete integrity. He fears God and stays away from evil. Satan laughed at him. He said, oh yes, I understand what you're saying. I've obviously seen him. I have seen him. I told you I'm moving up and down, looking out for people. So I've seen Job. Of course I've seen Job. I've seen Job. But my question is, don't you think that Job has a good reason to fear you, Baba? Yes. But Job, I've seen, I'm a rich man, I've seen what he has. Nobody will have what Job will have and not be happy. You have given him everything now. Alright, that's devil being trying to be a smart thinker here. You've given him everything you have. Now the truth is that you see a rich man who has made money. Does he necessarily fear God, or does he think he's a person that made the money himself? Alright, now devil is trying to play a fast one. Now he's saying here he is happy because of his wealth. Alright, but he has seen people out there in the world who are happy because of their wealth and would not give credit to God and will never fear God. They live like kings and queens who do what they want. For example, the latter years of Solomon was a terrible one. He began to feel like a god. And so many kings after him who did what they wanted, once they climbed the throne, suddenly forgot to fear God. But this is Job who feared God, and God is testifying to that. That this man fears me. Alright, and the devil is saying, I know, but Job has a good reason to fear you. Job has a good reason to fear you. You have always put a wall of protection around him and his home and his property. He has never recorded loss. So maybe the devil himself has tried to hit this man, because that's what he does. Bible said he's like a thief, right? Bible said he's like a thief. His job is to steal, kill, and destroy. He doesn't just steal, he kills and destroys so you don't find it again. Alright, so he must have tried one or two things against Job, which didn't work. He said, you have put a wall of protection around him and his home and his property. You have given this man protection. You have made him prosper in everything he does. Look how rich he is. The devil even knew that Job's wealth is coming from God. Look how rich he is. Look how rich he is, and it's because of you. Remember what the Bible says too? Like in 1 Samuel, yes, 1 Samuel. What the Bible said, it is not right by might that will prevail. the God that maketh rich the poor. He's the one that lifts the poor from the dust and sets the beggars among princes. All right, this is what God does. God is the one that maketh us prosper. All right, He's the one that gives us genuine prosperity, and this is what the devil is attesting here. Attesting to here, he said, "You have made him prosper in everything he does. Look how rich he is." So this is what the devil is saying here. Why won't he fear you? By the way, you are the one who has made him rich, and he acknowledges that. He knows you are the one who has made him rich. Now you would respect a person who you know helped you. For example, a person who gives you a job, a source of livelihood. If you have sense, you would respect that person. It's unfortunate in our time now that humans don't know how to show gratitude. They even fight and destroy their helpers. All right, once they get help from you, they'll go behind you and try to destroy you. It's either with their mouth or with their attitudes, or joining your enemies against you. It's terrible. That is what is happening here, right? To tell you how imperfect we are. So the devil acknowledged the fact that it is God that made Job rich, and that Job really knows that. Job knows that. That is why he fears you. All right, this is why he fears you. Look at how rich he is. He went to verse 11 and said, "But reach out and take away everything he has, and he will surely curse you to your face." And that brings us to the question. You see how even this one makes me angry the more, right? When you therefore have to come to God to have this conversation with God. You say, "God, why are you having this guy talk to you?" But he's God. He's got to take glory from your life. That is why he made you. The Bible said he made, after creating the living things, and made them to have offspring of their own kind. And after planting the planet, that he saw that they were good. They gave him glory. Their perfection gave him glory. God takes glory from our life. And how, as humans, do we give him glory? By living perfectly, just like the other creations. And how do you live perfectly? By being perfect in everything, including your life, how you handle things. All right, you are like God. And the word of God says, instead of His word to come back to Him void, let heaven and earth pass away. That is God telling you that I say a thing and it comes to pass. I like to do what I say. And this is what He's saying now. This thing that I said about Job is just the truth. I have made them to be that perfect. And I know, having studied him closely, that this one is capable of, living perfectly. So the devil, there is nothing you can do. So God was watching. He's been watching. God knows those who are His, actually. So realizing this, I had to calm down a little. And I followed the story at it flowed. Now listen closely. The question of this message is, why do you fear God? Why do you fear God? Why is that do you fear God? Or somebody wants to know, why do you fear God? When you go to a church, a trending church, why are you there? When you suddenly fall in love with a ministration or a message you heard in a trending church, is it the message that brings you there? Is it because you love God, really? You're passionate about the things of God? Which I know in brackets is hardly the case. Or is because you have seen a big edifice, you've seen mansion, you have seen grace overflowing like water, and you feel that identifying with such a place will be a blessing to you? Is that why you are there? Because it is truly the same God who is in that place that is in the community church, which you are calling local, by the way. But that's by the way. Now the devil is saying this to God. Sorry. Saying this to God about Job. I put it to you that this man is fearing you because of the benefits he gets from you. So take away these benefits, he will disappear. And God would have given the thoughts, okay, go and try. I know this man, go and try. Can God have that confidence in you? Can he say, therefore, go and try? You don't know that some tests that come to you have God's endorsement. The Bible said he will not let a test that is greater than you to come to you. So God endorses certain tests, all right, which is part of your building process, help you become better. And some of them to give himself glory, because he knows that you rising from it brings glory to the kingdom of God. So as an ambassador, when each country you are deployed to, you are the representative of that nation. So the country, your host country, expects you to represent your country very well. And if they put you to certain kind of tests and you fail, it is your country that is assumed to have failed. So there's an expectation from every one of us. You can't be a child of God and heaven will not have expectation of your life. That is just the truth. You cannot be living anyhow. No, sir. You are not allowed to live in hell. Alright, so he let him do it. Oh no, I went on to read, and I went to Job 3 and I saw 25 verses from a man who has become depressed. A man who started cursing himself, cursing the day he was born, curse this, curse that. The man talked so much. I said, 25 verses, Job? You said all this. It must have been so difficult for you. I said, devil, you're a liar. You see, you know go succeed from my life. And at that moment, I started reflecting on myself. Alright, so tests that come to me, I shouldn't fail them. Actually, if I fail them, I'll be disappointing God. I shouldn't say things like that. I know I'm human. It's human nature to get frustrated. But I shouldn't let it be a problem. I shouldn't say the things that will make God sigh. When God say, oh, this guy, you're weak. And all that. So I ask you again, listener, why do you fear God? Is it because of the benefits of doing so, or because you actually love Him? So, would the devil find in your life love for God? Alright, will he find it? It is one thing for him to find it, another thing for him to say exactly that. Because I know he could go to God and lie about what he saw, even though he has seen love. But he will go and lie because of those things you give him. But it's another thing for him not to see love at all and be himself naturally. Alright, and what do I mean? He gets to God and he says, can the devil say the truth? He says, this guy is going to blow your mind. He's a failure. He doesn't love you and all that. He will twist it to paint you black, even though you're already black because you don't love God. Why are you here? Why do you fear Him? What does it mean to fear? Why do you suddenly show respect, regard? You roll on the floor, you speak it down for 2 hours, 10 hours, or 1 year. You carry the Bible, you quote it, blah blah blah. You wear the best suit, and when you enter church, everybody notices because you walk in a fashion like you know how Michael Jackson used to moonwalk. Some people walk like that when they're moving, as if they are walking. All right, and I want to see them. And when they have the microphone, they are singing with a voice as if and Raphael has entered them. Do you suddenly put up appearance when you are in the church? Is it you fearing God from your heart because you love Him, you regard Him, respecting Him? When you kneel down at the altar and you roll on the floor, is it because you truly love Him, or you want people to see or think that you fear God? Why do you fear God? Now this question calls for reflection, and I hope you have time to reflect on it while you answer it. Why? Why do you fear God? Would the devil find true love in you, or will he find a man pretending to love God? And this conversation between God, man, and Satan creates, it depicts the reality for us. Everyday life, the war between light and darkness, questions unanswered, questions begging answers, situations in our life begging for a conversation with God, and the devil steps in, the accuser of the brethren, as the Bible calls him, comes in with his research. He is a researcher. The devil is a researcher. He doesn't rest. He's researching. He's patrolling the earth, checking out what is going on, who is a threat to his work. Where are the remnants? How many are there in each city? All right. I shared a revelation I had once about the town Umuahia. It's a recent revelation. And in the center of this town is a throne of the woman the Bible describes in Revelation 17 verse 4. The woman wearing purple and carrying a pot, and in that pot you find abomination of all kinds, including of all her fornications with idols and demons. And this woman represents this this end time churches who are projecting idol worship. And they are very casual about it. This is scary, really scary. In the city center is a throne that is spreading its influence across areas, that the churches around it are leaning towards it, looking for fame, purpose. The devil is giving people new purpose now. He's exchanging their callings with a satanic purpose. So they're raising disciples among people like that, who will now use their occultic secrets to lure souls into darkness. His agenda is to make sure that his eye is on the remnant. Remnants are those who are yet to soil their garment. Remnants are those who are yet to soil their garments. He is constantly monitoring them, frustrating them so that they can give up and join